Snoopy, always a smart choice there. Team SoloMid looking for a response, likely to be Ao Kwong, but we have seen at least some European teams try and bait that out. Most notably, Epsilon baiting it out successfully and able to counter pick it with Loki in the solo lane. But I don't think that we're going to see Divios trying to play Loki. I'm pretty sure TSM is just going to take away Ao Kwong.
Yeah, I mean, Divios prefers these chunky guys. I mean, I always think of Hercules. I always think of not Uller, but Osiris. You know, these are the characters that I sort of expect Divios to bring to the party.
So you can just giggle.
Now expectations are always funny because Divios kind of made his name off of a Giannis in the solo lane.
Yeah, he's just kind of like, I'm so tanky.
I mean, he soloed a Titan.
He did. He did.
The man soloed a Titan. So no fear on the side of the Team SoloMid. A solo later. Scary D looking strong as well, though, honestly. I like what I've seen out of Scary D.
So one thing, though, is Scary D, I don't want to say he's a one-dimensional player, but every game we've seen him play, it's been Assassins in the solo lane, and none of them have been super successful. I don't know if this is just he only plays Assassins or if that's a comfort pick. You know, we look at Sausage, right? Playing a lot of Hell and Chang'e. Even though it's bad lane matchups, they play it because it's comfortable for them. Maybe not because it's the best in the draft. And this may be, you know, this ranked thing. Scary D, a player from ranked, a very high level player. And Scary D is a phenomenal individual player, but he plays a lot of Assassins, and it just hasn't been translating to these lane matchups that he's been put into. We saw him play Kali last week. Died twice to towers with his ult up. Geb, though, banned out, and Bologna taken out by Team SoloMid. First pick going to be up to Team Elevate. Are they going to be grabbing that Athena once again?
We'll take a look. They do have the first option, so they might be able to grab, well, whatever they want. If they want to go a Hunter, they will do, as you say, Kevin, and they will go the option of Athena, the first pick.
Athena, very versatile. We saw it played in the jungle last time. And Mytheria, like individually, all the players are playing fine. They just kind of got, I'd say, outdrafted in the sense, and they weren't able to utilize their draft efficiently. Athena, very strong, though, and also a very strong takeaway from TSM, because TSM would have picked that up if that was left open.
Exactly. That's really what it is for me. It's just, why not? And there, man stays true to his word, as he said. Ionic will pick up the tree god, Sylvanus, being elected.
Are they going to draft Ram? Because if they don't draft Ram here for Team SoloMid, I would really like to see Elevate just pick it. The god is super safe, and even if you're not as good as Snoopy, right now, Snoopy is on fire with it. Speaking of on fire, Agni locked in, Boosh playing a very strong game. I want to see the Ram. Please pick it up, Elevate.
If you weren't sitting next to me, I'd accuse you of just cheating. There's no way you could have set that up. On fire with the Agni pick. That was unfortunately very good. The Isis one more time on Elevate. You know, I liked the Isis.
I liked the draft.
Fair,
it just didn't work out.
This is what Unrelinquished plays. This is his #1 go-to god in the mid lane. Of course, he used to be a solo laner, so his picks otherwise will reflect that. But when it comes to the mid lane mages, Isis is sort of the go-to. Elevate, again, intelligently picks up the Ram. I wanted it. You wanted it. Elevate understands, and they just can't give it to Snoopy.
I just thank you, Elevate. This is more a takeaway from Snoopy, who has been the best Ram we've ever seen the past couple weeks. Likely to see a response, though. It's going to be a Thor locked in, so Thor Garz is back. Last time Elevate did ban it out. This time, though, Garz is back to his homestead, and it also gives them pretty high mobility, especially if that's going to be an Athena in the jungle like we saw from game 1. Garz is going to be able to respond in kind if Mytheri is ulting over to lanes and trying to shut down the duo. Or the solo.
Second round bans coming out. Team SoloMid, they're the first one. They're going to take the Fenrir away from Scary D. Don't want to see him playing it, or rather they want to force him into something he might not be as comfortable on.
Another ban coming through for Elevate. Likely to ban a Hunter. Medusa on the board, big team fighting presence, maybe something they don't want to be dealing with. Athena's on the other team, though, so there's no free combo. It's going to be a pass, actually. So Elevate, I don't know if they just couldn't decide on what it was or actually decided to pass there.
This is an interesting time to go ahead and pass the ban, because what happens is it opens up Team SoloMid. They're going to elect to go Hunter. I would have liked to see a Hunter ban here, honestly, and Apollo will be the choice by TSM. But outside of that Hunter ban, I mean, it could go multiple ways. I would have rather...
You could have locked out Osiris, which is
I would have rather see the Hunter ban. Because if you pass the ban, honestly, Kevin, if you forget about the Hunters, now all of a sudden the solo lane becomes a little more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm assuming they just ran out of time. That's my guess. I could be wrong. Last couple picks coming in for Elevate. They still need a jungler, unless they do go Athena again, or a solo laner. There we go. Scary D on Osiris. So a very strong
not an assassin.
Lane controller. Yeah, finally.
Scary D must have heard you. Picks up Osiris. I mean, we just saw Divios play him. Thick, tanky, probably not going to top the charts of player damage anytime soon, but definitely not going to fall too often as long as he's piloted correctly. And Batz going to find his way into the jungle. Again, going with characters that people really like. Mytheria, huge fan of Batz.
Yeah, we saw him play it twice, I believe, so far in the Pro League. It's a guy that he's done very well with. And now Elevate, they're trying to upset Team SoloMid in Game 2. Game 1 did not go their way. They had some nice team fights, and that's one thing that I always say about Elevate is they have really nice team fights. But, I mean, Elevate, they banned away Hades in Game 1, not in Game 2. And I said Osiris is a pretty good laner, not against a Hades who can't actually be beaten in lane.
I mean,
ever.
Hades is...
Like, ever.
Is Hades the best laner?
Yes. One of. Like there's no
because he comes with
put
all
it this way, you're not beating Hades. That's what it comes down to.
Well, he comes with all the lane clear that a Ra or a Chalk might, but he's also scary in the sense that you can't be near him.
He is. You can't beat Hades. That's the thing, right? You could beat other gods. You can stalemate with them, and that's it. You stalemate with them, or you lose to them. Those are your only two options.
So
most likely lose.
So Hades is going to be played in the solo lane by Divios. The rest of Team SoloMid represented pretty standardly. Gars on his signature Thor, Bouge on Agni, Yannick on the Tree Man, and Snoopy on Apollo. Elevate on the other side. Scary D will be taking Divios' Osiris. Mytheria, Red Pod Batz, unrelinquished, reprising his role on the Isis, and Met Yankee Vesalius make up your Athena Rom duo lane. This is Game 2. Team SoloMid up 1-0, and Elevate looking to bring it back.
A lot of deep wards coming out for TSM. You can see 3 over there on that right-hand side jungle. This could lead me to believe that they might try to invade. Divios, he's sitting in lane. Gars, no, it looks like he's just going to look for vision. Yeah, they're just looking for vision. Divios is going back to speed.
Elevate going to be taking a look at their beginning camps as we get underway. Minions will spawn right about now. And on the right-hand side, Team SoloMid will split these camps as has become the norm. I mean, so coming into this season, or this split rather, Adonis, we've seen a number of different starts, but this seems to be the standard start that we see a lot of teams really subscribing to.
It's a lot of experience for the mid laner early on, and while he does lose lane pressure for not going red, he makes up for it in hitting an early level 2. And we can see the Boosh, he's already level 2 without clearing a single minion in his wave.
Unrelinquished going to go ahead and
Gars.
pick up the mids. Gars is here.
No, he doesn't get one, but he actually teleports in.
And the Berserker's Barrage will be stopped. Jump from Batz. Don't forget, that's a slow, folks.
Wind Gust.
And Gars, 1-2, dodges 3, but gets hit by 4. Unrelinquished with the under 1 minute first blood. Elevate off to a great start.
I don't know if Gars meant to teleport to his hammer there, but that obviously wasn't anything that I think he wanted to do there. Great pickup from Elevate, though, recognizing that they could fight Gars, not being scared, and that's what we talked about earlier, right? Yep. Elevate's not scared that this is Team SoloMid. They're playing this like they would any other team. They're always team fighting, and that's what they excel at. If they can get an early lead against TSM, they can definitely win.
I mean, even look at the way Scary D's playing in solo, and he got beat last match. He's standing on Divios' tower. Now, a lot of that has to do with wave clear, etc., and where these two gods are early game.
Divios could die if he gets stunned there. No, actually, Divios just cleared the wave. I forgot it's Hades.
Hades.
Didn't I discuss this already? Pretty sure I discussed this already.
Red buff going to finally be picked up by Unrelinquished, and off the back of that first blood, the next wave, these back camps might have him level 5 already. Now, the next wave in his mid lane will get him the 5 that will supply his ultimate. So, Unrelinquished, very strong start.
Scary D, he's locked in this, and now he's going to be taking minion damage. Pops the tether to reduce the damage, going to be feared out.
That's
one more
trouble.
auto. Archer's not going to be enough. Divios is going to look for the dash, though. Scary D trying to juke out. He is going to slow Divios under tower, but it's not going to be enough damage. Divios, one more tower shot, he would have fallen. It was close.
Great play coming out from Divios, understanding just exactly what his character is capable of and goes right for it. First time we visit the long lane, we'll be running alongside with Ionic. The root's good, no pull, as Vesalius does have that role available to him, so Ram will be able to get out of there no problem. Ram's so slippery because of that role.
Yeah, but right now, I mean, it's so hard to fight into Sylvanus in lane. That's Sylvanus' greatest strength, right, is his lane pressure, and right now TSM doing a good job of abusing that. Met Yankee, though, no, they just both hit 5. I think he wanted to dash in and be aggressive there, but then Ionic hit 5, then it's like, nope, Wrath of Terror's up, not going to do that.
Not a situation you want to go head first into.
No, actually, Batz, though, making a rotation over, looks like he just, Unrelinquished is in a bad spot here. 1 versus 3.
Doesn't quite know it. Agni bombs over the wall. Here comes the Wrath of Terror. Unrelinquished. The ultimate's down. This could be good. The heal, not quite enough. One more Wisp will not kill him. Still alive. Ultimate from Snoopy, not enough as well. Ram's here. 3 members are surrounding Snoopy. He doesn't have the roll like he did on Ram. Matheria picks up 2 on Batz with the double. Matheria in a lot of trouble now, and Gars has arrived. He'll take down Hun Batz. Blink away from Athena. Ram will walk in the other direction. So Team SoloMid does pick one up, but Elevate again on the better side of the fight.
Yeah, Unrelinquished. He was able to bait out stuff, and it looked like that TSM was very scared of committing to him. Yeah. They waited a couple seconds, and you actually saw Unrelinquished walk out with like almost no health. If they had acted on it immediately, they probably could have picked him up, but a little bit scared, and a great turnaround from Elevate.
It was a perfect circle of protection. Like, absolute perfect. Not just the placement, not just the use, but also the weight to let it absorb some damage, heal up the perfect amount. I mean, absolute perfect. And speaking of perfect, Hades, Divios.
Don't stand in those minions, Scary D. Don't stand in those minions.
Divios
he stood in the minions.
Okay, I need you to explain that to me. Why did Divios wait so long?
His cooldowns. Cooldowns on Hades are super long. Okay. That's all. He didn't want to auto attack because he would pull the tower, so he was waiting for the silence to come up, because the silence 3, even without the minions there, likely would have killed him. It would have been pretty close, but it chunks fairly hard. Scary D, though, if he had avoided that, or at least he was baiting very well.
Exactly.
But he baited a little bit too hard.
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't Divios being cheeky.
No.
Unrelinquished for all the boon we just gave him, in a little bit of trouble right now. That circle of protection might not be enough here as Boosh dashes aggressively. Wing Gust is going to be good enough. Taunt from the Athena might deter a lot of what Team SoloMid has brought. Matheria takes out Boosh. Ionic in some trouble as well. Matheria with the double kill. That's the same thing we saw. Unrelinquished gets into trouble. Baits long enough for Matheria to get 2 kills. Then the same thing happens a minute later. Elevate. Wow.
Right now, Elevate is taking advantage. So I love this. Elevate is taking advantage of TSM's misplays. They made 3 major misplays. First off, Gars teleporting to his hammer 1 versus 2 against players with slows and mass CC and high damage at level 2. After that, we saw them delay on committing to Unrelinquished and allow him to survive long enough for Matheria to lock down Boosh and then come in. And then once again there, a big misplay in mid. They should have killed Unrelinquished, but they missed the dash from Agni and a couple autos that would have secured the kill and allowed them to get out.
And it's just the reaction of the team.
Once Divios dash is down.
Matheria in the right-hand lane. You mentioned Divios' dash is down, so that's no mobility.
Oh, Scary D. I think Scary D lagged out a little bit there, walked into the wall. Divios might have been able to be picked up there, but not going to happen. Divios escapes that gank. Gars was in the area, though, with ult available. Maybe something that Elevate didn't want to commit to.
I have said Matheria's name so many times, Kevin, and Gars, nowhere to be seen.
It seems like the fights end before Gars can get there, and there's no need for him to ult. But
actually, here's a fight. Team SoloMid on the upper side of things. Circle of protection is down. That'll chunk Ionic a lot, but Elevate won't chase it this time. Too many members of TSM available to really make that one hurt. So Elevate going to play it safe. They're up 6 kills to 3. A little bit of gold as well. Not too much, though. Tie game, but Elevate has momentum.
Both teams trying to find these mid camps here. Matheria getting very aggressive. No Fear No... Actually, no. Fear No Evil is available for him. He's definitely looking for this fight around the back. Met Yankee has taught. He finds 2. But Matheria's not positioned to Fear No Evil. And it looks like they're just going to secure the mid camps, though. Something they definitely want to do. Gars actually steals him. There's a blink in. Unrelinquished taking so much damage. 1 more auto, and he's going to fall. The extra damage from Thor's passive, that's going to be it. Gars picks up the kill.
Snoopy comes in on the backside, kill's already down, and now everyone's looking at Vesalius. Fear No Evil's on the ground, but who did it hit? Vesalius in trouble, and that's it. Devios' rotation from the solo lane, gonna take him down. Here comes Gars, and he picks up Etheria on the backside. Scary D makes the late rotation, and Team SoloMid playing cleanup patrol. This solo laner's going down as well. Boosh with the kill.
Everyone's so low on TSM, but protecting each other and playing with 5. You saw these members who were solo remain in the fight and still get their abilities off from a safe distance, allowing TSM to pick up multiple kills. A blink in by Matt Yankee. He's trying to find a kill onto the boost, but I don't think he has the damage there. No, he's not going to. And now Matt Yankee's just going to die. He's locked in place. Nowhere for him to go. Pillar of Agni. Devios finds the kill. Unrelinquished coming in. Going to use his ult, but it's all for naught. And TSM finds another pick.
And that was the motif. I mean, Matt Yankee just putting a dot on that one again. We watched, you said it, playing as 5 Team SoloMid, Elevate in that last sequence went 1 by 1 into the meat grinder. They kept seeing low people and thinking, maybe I could just get in and get a kill and get out. But unfortunately for them, not the case.
Snoopy, he's going to get ganked here. Recognizes that he could. Oh, he holds his dash for a little bit. Ionic, that's actually going to save Snoopy. Snoopy's going to be safe for Salius and Etheria, not able to find the kill. No ult available for Ram. Can't snipe that out. Great play by Snoopy. Great play by Ionic to get him out.
Well, Elevate did have the momentum at one point. Team SoloMid turns it right back around after that. Like I said, Elevate just sort of unfortunately walked 1 by 1 into the meat grinder. And now TSM is the team that's up by 2 kills.
Scary D and Devios continuing to battle it out. Something we've seen all game and likely to continue to see. Devios, I mean, Hades just can't lose lane, right? He can't be outpushed, but it is at the point where Scary D can fight him pretty well. And Etheria is going to be here. No dash for Hades. His ultimate's down as well here. The question is, are they going to have the damage? There's the Fear No Evil. One more hit, and Etheria finds the kill. Once again, a nice pick for Elevate.
No beads.
Devios doesn't buy beads. Are you serious?
Just a teleport on the solo laner. Cost of that kill, Team SoloMid will look towards the Gold Fury. They know that Elevate is very heavy on the right-hand side of the map. Scary D does make the transition, though.
They're going to be up a player with that teleport as well. Etheria, or actually Matt Yankee getting stunned out there by Boosh.
This is a gold initiation from Elevate. I won't say it's their gold.
They also have Ice Assault. I feel like they should commit to this. There's a lot of ults down. Gars is up in the air. Snoopy's up in the air.
This is theirs, but can they survive the aftermath? That's the story. Down comes Snoopy looking for more. Boosh already takes out Unrelinquished. Matt Yankee in the middle of everything along with Scary D. 3-man stun. No one's there to capitalize. Scary D didn't get the message that everyone is leaving. Scary D falls down to the Boosh.
Man. Big miscommunication coming out from Elevate. Matt Yankee does pick up Snoopy. That's a nice kill, but Gars is in the air. He's looking for Etheria. Great beads, but one more hit. Berserker's Barrage is going to finish it, and then Matt Yankee gets pulled back in as well. No ult going to be able to go off in time, and that's just Elevate. Great communication. Go for the Gold Fury. Commit. Bad communication, half the team's running, Scary D's 1v3ing, Matt Yankee baits himself back in, Etheria baits himself back in, and they lose 3-4.
You know, we said this talking on Esports Weekly Live, Kevin, Yumi and Hindu Man, and then we mentioned this earlier as well. Elevate they're going up against a Goliath Team SoloMid. Can they pull off the David? We don't know. It looks very well in this game number 2, but this is a learning process. They're doing a lot of right things. I honestly want Elevate. I want to see what they can do in this game number 2.
This is right now. This is a team with a lot of skill.
There's so much potential.
Not a lot of team play, or the team play is very disjointed.
It's sporadic. When it comes in spades. You see fantastic setup into domination. I mean, every time Unrelinquished and Etheria on the same page with these baits into the double kills. Love it. But then what happens is, once the team fight gets disjointed, we're seeing individuals try to take over a la ranked. This is just week 3 of the SPL. Week 5, week 6, I think we'll see a very different Elevate.
For now, though, we're talking like it's game over. It's not game over, right? Elevate right now is dead.
They're separated by 1,000.
Yeah, they're separated by 1,000. They're still far and away from out of it. They could still win this game, but they're looking very strong. And Etheria has been everywhere.
And
he wants
again.
Devios to dash. I don't think Devios is going to dash, though.
He knows better. Silence is out. There's the dash, but this time it's underneath the tower.
Big rotation by TSM though.
Gars got the message, and everyone walks over a ward. Ionic walks over the opponent, roots out Matheria.
Matheria, his dash is down, nowhere for him to go.
But the ultimate does come out, unfortunately not enough for his team to react to. Thors comes down, stuns out Mad Yankee. Circular protection is good, but is it good enough against the Hades? Not quite. Everyone's really low. Where's the damage? Spirit Ball detonated a little bit too soon. Team SoloMid spread out. This is good for Elevate, but here's Snoopy. That's the end of Unrelinquished. He's going to go down to the hand of the Hunter. Vesalius doing fantastic damage, and that's enough to push Boosh out.
Once again, TSM so low, but Elevate not able to lock down the kills. Vesalius did a fantastic job of rotating to this fight, and actually it looks like they're looking to defend their tier 2 tower. That's a teleport in and the ultimate coming out from Met Yankee, and Scary D's being very aggressive. There's a blink in.
Double taunt, Scary D looking for it on the backside. Gars, however, takes out the hungry Hunter. Vesalius falls down, so does Scary D. Snoopy with the doubleon.
Boosh had beads. They're like, Boosh's beads are down. Look how low he is. There's no way he got out of there with beads up. But beads were up for him, and they committed so much to him, losing 2. Snoopy, he's going to take this tier 2. Met Yankee actually blinks in on 3. Matheria in the back, but he's 1 versus 5. Now he's caught in the middle. Snoopy, he's going to turn around. Boosh is going to finish him off, and it's just the players going in and taking bad fights, bad numbers advantages. And Unrelinquished with a great pull by Ionic. He's going to fall as well. It's just pick after pick for TSM.
And I mean, Elevate's giving it to him. They're going 1v3, 1v4, 1v5. When Elevate groups up and plays as the team, Adonis, they're doing fantastic stuff. But because of a couple of missteps, you're seeing these players sort of go in and try to be John Wayne, but they're just not pulling it off. Instead, Team SoloMid winds up eating them alive. And what was previously a very close game quickly turns into 10 kills in the way of Team SoloMid, as well as 5,000 gold in just a minute or two.
Yeah, and beads are going to be forced by Gars, or forced out onto Gars, but it's a lot there. Gold Fury are going to be spawning here soon. That's what Team SoloMid's going to be turning their sights to. Looking at builds, they're starting to really get ahead. Vesalius taking a significant amount of poke, but able to avoid most of it. Snoopy, he's got that Ick Vial online. Meanwhile, Vesalius, he's just trying to match the build, but it's still a little bit behind Matheria. Matheria has been a big piece to Elevate, staying close in this game.
Matheria has been huge. Hunbats in the jungle, 6, 5, and 2. And like I said, a lot of those 5 deaths have been from Matheria trying to save the world, essentially. But, I mean, he's got 2 sets of double kills. Right now, Vesalius getting aggressed on very, very low. Boosh will take out Matheria by himself, and after these shots go down, folks, well, that was inevitable. Gars picks up another kill.
It's just pick after pick.
8-20. Now Unrelinquished, the one in trouble. Down comes Snoopy. And Gars gets the double kill right there onto Unrelinquished. One more time. Elevate dying individually. Rough game.
TSM, they're going to be stealing away the jungle and then moving on to Gold Fury with the numbers advantage. Met Yankee level 11 right now. It's up to him to try and get to this, but I don't see him going anywhere near. Boosh is actually there. Actually, Team SoloMid is very confident that Snoopy's going to be able to solo this. Divios is pushing left lane. Meanwhile, 3 players pushing this mid lane. And right now, TSM playing a very smooth game, pressuring multiple lanes and making sure that Elevate can't respond to any of it.
The multiple lane pressure there is key. I mean, the whole solo lane is absolutely gone. Good taunt from Met Yankee, but again, where is the follow-up? Here comes Matheria. That's the follow-up. Immediately stunned as soon as the ult goes down. Life of Boosh is claimed by Met Yankee, but Gars turns it around. Hunbat's no longer a threat. Down crashing comes Athena, but it's just no damage on a Gars. He'll stand still, he'll ult, he'll miss the stun, but there's so much damage coming out of Berserker's Barrage and Snoopy's bases that Scary D can't go anywhere. Neither can Unrelinquished. That's another double kill for the Hunter on Team SoloMid.
Divios diving super deep. Met Yankee going to be locked in place. No dash available. Divios finds that kill, but he actually exits out the wrong side. Vesalius, he doesn't have the damage to even come close to this. Doesn't even have the damage to come close
as well, and Hades gets out of there, no problem. He'll heal up, watch as he heals up from these the back camps, and then finds himself underneath again. multi-lane pressure. Divios goes right back to the duo lane and starts looking at a tier 2.
Yeah, TSM right now have extended their 5,000 gold lead to 11,000 in just under 2.5 minutes, it seems. Can we take a look at gold in hand real quick? Likely to see a lot of 2,000s, and that's what we see. 3 players, 2,000 in hand. Snoopy, 2,400. That's going to be Executioner finished and likely beats 3 or starting up on his Heavenly Agility.
Boosh standing tall on that Agni, 6-3 and 10. I mean, we've just seen a lot of setup, but quietly with 6 kills on the side of the Fire Lord.
Unrelinquished is having the biggest time here right now.
Which is unfortunate because I like the early play coming out from the Isis, and not why we normally like the early play, right? Like, Isis is guaranteed to bring you wave clear and lane dominance, and Blink from Boosh aggressively with the dash as well. Everybody's looking at Athena.
Yeah, they spent a lot on that, but Ionic not electing to ult. They do force out Fear No Evil and the Blink from Athena, and Snoopy going to start soloing Fire Giant. The rest of the team on zoning duty. Ionic and Boosh are going to be helping him out. Scary D going to actually try and fight guards, and Unrelinquished already poked to a 3rd life. Here comes Athena, though. He jumps in, but he has nothing else left.
Too soon, Executus. Everybody chases out on Batz. Circle of Protection is down. It's no longer available. Team SoloMid split up just a little bit. On the backside comes Snoopy. He'll mez and he'll kill. Guards gets a kill onto Vesalius.
Nah, Xing or after Guards comes crashing down. Divios going to find that kill on Unrelinquished. And right now, 3 players down for Elevate. It's going to be hard for them to defend this Fire Giant. But they do have Met Yankees ult. They do have Osiris as well. Guards, though, just going to be pressuring mid lane in the meantime, forcing Scary D to try and defend him. Actually, the Boosh and Guards comboing. They're going to try and kill Scary D. Scary D very tanky, though. Not going to be an easy task to do. There's actually a ult in place, and Scary D dies.
Everybody on Team SoloMid was relatively low, so maybe the thought was go for the Lord of the Afterlife and just all in, take somebody with him. Unfortunately for Scary D, not the direction he wanted to go. He goes down, everybody else stays up. Team SoloMid alive and well, and now they have a new belt. Fire Giant on the side of Team SoloMid. But they're being a little cheeky. But
some frustration coming out from this team.
Yeah.
Snoopy going to be finding that kill here, and mentally, Elevate's done. It's very clear that mentally, Elevate's pretty done here. They put up a nice fight. Team fight-wise, especially early on, but Team SoloMid, a little bit too much for them. Elevate, this is a learning process, though. They were able to keep toe-to-toe with them for quite some time in this game, but moving forward, they definitely need to work on their communication, I think. We saw multiple times players going individually, like you said, as well as when they got the Gold Fury and were able to take the lead away or close the gap at the very least on Team SoloMid, and then Scary D stayed and fought 1v3, 1v4 while the rest of the team escaped. And then for whatever reason, we saw Met Yankee come in, get baited, and then we saw Matheria also get baited. They just died.
That right there, that fight over the Gold Fury was the microcosm of the game. There was a minor engagement that one person stayed in, and then one person tried to save that guy, and then one person tried to save that player, and unfortunately for Elevate, that was the way the majority of this fight went. Team SoloMid, they have the Fire Giant around their waists. They've taken out 2 of the Phoenixes. The only one alive is the long lane, which still has a tier 2 tower as well.
I think they're looking to bait a fight, though. You can see Gar's waiting around the corner. Matheria, there's his jump down, and Snoopy's going to die, but Fear No Evil to keep the team at bay. They do need that team fight, though. Blink it by Ionic. He's going to find 3, root 2, and now the bombs come raining through. Grars, he's trying to find 1 kill, but it looks like Elevate's going to make it to the base. Doesn't matter. Locked in place, Pillar of Agony. Unrelinquished is going to fall. And with the Titan already at 5,000 health, there's nothing Elevate's going to be able to do. Too big of a lead for Team SoloMid. The rookies aren't going to be able to find a victory today, and TSM takes game 2 and extends themselves up from the middle of the pack to one of the top-rated teams in North America once again.
Team SoloMid looking very, very strong, and for what it's worth, Team SoloMid does 2-0 the newcomers Elevate, but Elevate looking strong early on and in the mid game as well. Unfortunately for them, Team SoloMid winds up taking the rug out from under them as the game gets later and later, and that's why Team SoloMid winds up on top.
And I mean, we talked about it. Elevate, they looked good in team fights. They had some good team fights, but it's just a clear whoever the shot caller is or whoever's not listening to the shot calls. We're not in their comms, so it's very hard to say. We could be completely wrong, and someone could just be doing something and just not listening. I don't know what's happening, but First Blood, this was nice, right? This was, I'm pretty sure Garst misclicked when he teleported, because you could see the teleport was super late, or at the very least he was trying to just steal away, but Boosh wasn't in a position to help him out there in time, and a great combination, Elevate able to pick up First Blood, and they were fighting on par and actually winning early on.
Yeah, I mean that right there, it was the mid jungle synergy, which is actually a great starting point. I mean, if you're gonna build chemistry, right? If you're gonna build a team, Kevin, I mean, you played professionally, you played competitively yourself. You want to start with that mid jungle bond because you're there so often,
especially in the meta right now. It's just that's your core. In addition to your support, those three are the players that need to be fighting together and really working on their synergy early on. And I think theirs is pretty good, those three. But as a team, as five, it's just not there right now.
So Etheria off to a great start, but Gars going to be our player of the game, looking very strong. Jungle as well, and his KD8 with 9-1 and 18 assists. I mean,
was that 100% kill participation? Because Divios I think soloed out Scary D, so that's not possible. But it's definitely probably up there for most of it, and Dagar is coming up with 64 fantasy points, one of the highest we've seen all split.
This is what I want to see out of a Thor /line, though. Early on, mid-game, you get those 9 kills, right? You do a lot, and maybe you get a couple of kills later on. But as the game goes on, and you transition into more of a control-oriented player, all of a sudden, you get assists out the wazoo off of your stuns, off of your ults, off of your damage that you put out that your other teammates will finish the job up with. So 18 assists, 9 kills. That's what I want to see out of a Thor.
Team SoloMid looking very confident. They had a spill early on in the split against Denial. They lost one game, and it really seemed like Elevate had studied that game based on the drafts they picked up. They had the Ares, they had the Isis, they had the Fidmer, they had this early game team comp in game 1 that they tried to snowball, but Team SoloMid, they lost to it once.
Right.
They weren't going to lose to, you're not going to surprise them a second time with that comp, and they played it very defensively too. They played very well positionally and were able to combat it perfectly and become going into mid game when Elevate was even with them. That's when their comp started to shine.
Exactly.
Elevate not able to respond.
I'm so excited for this team. I mean, I said it during the broadcast, and I'm going to say it right now. I'm so excited for Elevate. Each week, they're going to get better, as you said. I mean, this team is just they have the raw materials. They just need to cook.
And in my opinion, if this team came in the spring or the summer split, they'd be at least a mid-level team, if not taking games off the best.
Wow.
If they were in the summer split, they would be a much better team here. They have the pieces, they have the parts. The fall split, trying to qualify for Worlds, just maybe not the best place to start up.
But it's fine. I mean, we're going to see them. We're going to see them, do well. There's a lot of Smite to be played.
In the middle of the split,
though, is not over.
They could be taking games off the top teams.
That's exactly what
really messing up the standings as the teams try and qualify.
I see all of the raw materials there, and that's kind of what I want to see, honestly, out of these teams. But that's enough about Elevate. Team SoloMid is the team that was on top. And their support, Ionic, is going to be joining us today for our interview. One more time, how you doing, Ionic? It's been a while.
I'm great, man. How are you?
I'm glad. I'm hanging out, doing well. Congratulations on your win. What is it like to? We just spoke a lot about Elevate and sort of their raw materials. What's it like playing against this team, and what are your thoughts about Elevate?
I definitely think they have a strong roster, and I think that individually, their players are very good, and I think that if they fix some positioning issues, and then I don't really know what happened. I guess they tilted or something, but they all kept running in one by one towards the end of game 2.
Yeah.
So as long as they keep fighting as a team, they'll be able to do well.
Okay. Talking about you, though, Team SoloMid.
Yeah.
You took the early loss, though, looking much better here in week 3. What is your role on the team? Because there's a lot of different play styles of supports, I'd say, but it seems like when engages happens, you're not really there to protect your team. I always see you diving very deep into the opponent's back line. Is that your game plan or the strategy that you guys have developed?
I don't really think that's super accurate.
Okay.
That happens occasionally. It really just depends on fight to fight, and I don't think any one support has like a single playstyle, and I think that it changes from fight to fight, especially when you're ahead. You can get away with diving into the opponent's backline like that, but it depends.
Okay.
From engagement to engagement.
So it's all about really being malleable, and I mean that's really where you succeed. We see a lot of different approaches come out of the Aeonic. I mean, I remember you saying that you'll always take the Tree God, but then in game one you opted for Geb over the Sylvanus. So as far as picks are concerned, where are you leaning towards these days?
Obviously, I don't want to give too much away, but Athena's a very good god, and Geb is pretty much like one of the only good counters to her that can cleanse her taunt. Obviously, you can't counter the global pressure, but as far as the taunt goes, Geb does really well against that.
Right. Excellent. I mean, we're going to let you go, celebrate your win and everything, but is there anything you wanted to shout out or any place that people could find you?
Shout out to my team and the fans. Obviously, you can find me on Twitter at @Eonic and on Twitch at Eonic. And yeah, thanks for having me.
Awesome. Congratulations on your win. Thanks again for joining us here on the SPL. So fantastic games. We got to see a little bit of Europe. Paradigm 2-0's their opponent Justice. And on the North American side, we got to see Team SoloMid 2-0 elevate. Let's take a look at the North American standings after Team SoloMid did what they did. AFK still on top 6-0, but TSM 5-1.
They've climbed back up there, sitting in second. Likely to see both those teams remain up there. Enemy at 4-2. They're kind of the surprise sitting up there with Team Eager and Cloud9 as well. They do have some matches later on this week. We'll see if they fall. Team Elevate, though, they lost. Still looking for their first win. Still the only team between both regions yet to find a victory.
Yeah, and very exciting stuff going on in North America. Europe, though, no slouch at all. A lot of fun stuff watching the Europeans play today. Paradigm versus Justice, as I mentioned. And with those games in the book, we'll see a little shift on the standings as well.
4 teams sitting at 4 wins, but Paradigm and London Conspiracy have their losses. Epsilon looking like a top contender. Team Justice and Team Dignitas sitting at the bottom 1-5, but still, Fnatic is still there. They have some games this week, but 1-3, that's a pretty big surprise for them.
For now, don't forget this is just...
They did face 2 of their toughest opponents, to be fair.
We are in week number 3. Many more days of Smite to be played. And why don't we take a look at the rest of the week while we're here. Today is August 27th, so 28th, 29th, and 30th. 4 days a week of SPL this split.
Opening the games tomorrow, though, it will be Epsilon taking on Team Dignitas at 4 p.m. Eastern, followed by Denial Esports taking on Enemy. Can Enemy remain at the top of North America? Now they're facing a pretty tough opponent in Denial.
Denial is one of these teams that have been playing, they've always played sort of where they're at. They play up to stronger opponents, and they play very, very strongly against lower opponents as well. So Enemy has a tough, will have a tough time against Denial for sure. Denial also known for pulling out interesting strategies. So we'll see what they elect to do against Enemy.
So that's going to be it for today, though. F-Dot. This is continuing to be or look like kind of a free FP week. Some very, I don't want to say stompy games, but it's like, it's very high seeds versus low seeds. I'm pretty excited to see what's going to happen, though, moving forward.
I always have my eye on the upset. You know me, putting splits where some people think they don't belong. But that's going to be it for us today here on this Thursday at SPL Studios. We'll take a look to you tomorrow on Friday, and we'll take a look at some of those games there.
All right. I'm going to cut you off.
See ya.
What am I going to hit?
Repeating history, when will I learn? I learn. I miss the way you smile when you look at me. No one ever made me feel so free.